On the 17th of February 2020, I got involved in a severe traffic accident when I was biking my way back home. Being at a crossroad, a trucker did not see me, and by turning to the right, he hit me and ran over me. The collision left my body in an unnatural position. It made me surrender to the people around me, who called the emergency care team, who came to pick me up and bring me to the nearby hospital. Going through all types of scanning devices and medical equipment, the diagnosis was made. The event of the accident put me in a new bodily condition. Being in a state of immobility, I am surrendered to other people. I cannot walk, so I can't go where I want to. I go wherever they take me, or better, I go where my bed goes. I have lost the control over my body, and the bed and my body have become attached to each other. Influenced by the anesthetics and still processing the events, I am driven around in the hospital, in my new home, the bed. Facing upwards, I lose all my sense of orientation. I feel myself being moved along long corridors, but I don't know where I am or where I will go. My bed and I are put in a room. This room contains me, but for me, the room only consists out of the elements that I can see. I am longing to look through a window, to have a sense of orientation. At this point, that's the only act of self-control that I can do. But the window is behind me, so I cannot see through it, but I see the shadows from the outside tree entering my room. They connect me with the outside world. Sunlight lights up the room and gives me the rhythm of the night and day. So I cannot see the window, but I do feel its presence. The window becomes more than a framing of a view. For me, it is a tool for self-control that connects me in my new condition to the places that I cannot reach. But my eyes can bring me there, through the window. Sometimes you might notice that when a building has been demolished in your street, that you start to wonder what it looked like. It's like its absence now emphasizes its former presence. Sometimes you notice something is present once it's gone. When you find yourself in a new bodily condition, it disturbs the connection you have with the built environment, like the home, where the inhabitant is at its place. consisting of a collection of elements and the interaction you have with those elements, make from the house your home. But at my home, I cannot take the staircase anymore to go upstairs to my room. Someone needs to help me make food. In the morning, a nurse comes to visit me. The interaction that I have with my home has been changed. I don't feel at home anymore in my own home. There is this feeling of being lost, because the atmosphere of the hospital is starting to interfere with the atmosphere of the home. When being in the hospital, which is considered as a public space, very intense and private emotions are experienced there. While at the same time when you heal at home, strangers like a nurse or a physiotherapist come along, interfering with the private sounds of my house. While a person is in metamorphosis, they need their own spatial atmosphere, since the built environment, not even a hospital room, is designed towards the experience of a person who is in a changing condition. The room is not adapted to the new mobility of the person, so there is a disconnect between them. The person did not only lose control over its surroundings, which is managed by the people around them, but also they lost control over their own body, over what they see or what they feel. A room in which a person is put in to heal is in general a room providing space for the healthcare people to provide the care, while the person just waits there for it to heal. But this room can function actively towards recovery. Like we already use tools who provide us assistance during a period of depending on care like a crutch or a wheelchair, this room can also be a tool. The room, functioning as an interface between the disconnected body on its way to recovery and the world they used to experience but are not able to now. The room that curates different connections, elements that are missed when a person is healing, like the sense of power, having an interaction with someone, or having a physical perception of the outside world. A room that provides a bed that follows the progress of the body and supports its journey towards independency of the bed, because while the bed is still a safe place, it still means that you are recovering. The bed doesn't have to be fixed. It can be a moving object that allows a person to leave the room, and by leaving the room having an interaction with other people. A connection with the surroundings provided by a sphere above the bed. This sphere is finished with reflective material and it shows the setting around the person, giving them a sense of orientation as well as power. This sphere contains a window that aims towards the sky and it gives a hint of the weather or the foliage of the tree above. A room connecting the person to the outside, with a window behind the bed that can be opened and allowing the smells and the sounds to enter the room. By providing a physical perception of the outside world, even though the window is not visually present, the window activates the room. As for me, becoming an architect going through this time of metamorphosis, it was a journey of looking back on how I experienced my process till now. A journey that made me think on how we experience space and most of all, how we claim it. How our body relates to the rooms in which we find ourselves. Claiming space is tailoring it to your body in order for you to feel at your place, independent from the physical state you are in. By looking back and trying to understand how my room can work together with my body, delivered this drawing of the room containing the elements that matter in the idea of metamorphosis. It is the start of a body-driven architect who got to understand the value of a window and function of the mental state of a person, as well as being connected to the outside world and being activated by it. So my story of The Room for a Metamorphosis tries to introduce the idea that the notion of being at home can get lost for a person who is going through change, and that the window and the bed can work together and work as a tool of power for a person who is going through this metamorphosis.